What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate those of you that were hanging out waiting for the stream to start. For those of you stopping by watching the replay, make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so whenever we do these live chats, you'll get an alert and you can take part in them with us. So, interesting topic. This was going to be a different live stream from what it ended up being. Had a package coming from Aroma Concepts. So, long story short, they accidentally sent it to Colorado with my old address. It was the post office. So, we forwarded our address. So, okay, it's going to come back to me, no big deal. And this completely beat to absolute shit box is what made its way to me. So that was already not a good sign. And we'll get into this in just a little bit, but one fragrance did not survive of the three. So we won't be doing that video today. They're going to be sending me out another one, which is Cherry Cola, which we'll cover that in just a moment. And some of the destruction of the others, that the bottles are still okay. But first things first, let's start off like we always do with my scent of the day. Let me adjust the focus real quick. That is Melody of the Sun from Mancera. Been meaning to spend time with this one for quite a while. Just a quick shorts video with a little brief description. It's basically a citrus aromatic with a lot of woody notes to it as it dries. Very citric and summertime fresh, don't get me wrong, but there's enough of a woody presence here as it dries for it to be a year-round freshie. It's definitely got enough presence and performance to work year-round. So if you like the fresher, easier going stuff, but don't want, your basic run-of-the-mill designer freshies, this is actually a great option, like an 8 out of 10 type of fragrance. Great on my rating scale, well above average performance without being quite a beast. It won't overwhelm as long as you're not a heavy brown. If you want something fresh and you like a good soft woody nuance, it's not real abrasive like sharp cedar or anything like that. So let's get caught up in the chat. We got 60 people quick, fast, in a hurry. Do me a quick favor. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up on the way in, because as per usual, first time I say it, we have half the likes, 2 viewers. No surprises there. Let's see who's what, where, when, and why. Frank, 212 VIP Black. Hope this hurricane. Well, it's projected to go right now. I mean, we're still going to get rain. We're debating on leaving. The only reason, because it's, if it was to go the track that it's projecting, it'll just be some decent rain and we shouldn't lose power. But my dog has to take insulin twice a day that has to be refrigerated. So the reason we may go ahead and play it safe and leave in the morning is, God forbid, the power go out for a couple of days and it ruined Farrah's insulin and she can't get her insulin every 12 hours. So not worth risking my dog's life to just ride the storm out. So, because that would be brutal and miserable for my poor baby. So more than likely, we're probably going to go ahead and leave in the morning. I mean, I'm filming a few days ahead with content anyway. And of course, I'm going to bring a bunch of fragrances with me. We'll probably do a live stream. I'll bring my wife's iPad and we'll probably do a live stream from home. We'll head to Houma, my hometown. We'll go stay at my grandmother's or something like that. So I'm kind of making the executive decision that we're, it's like 90%. We're going to go ahead and leave in the morning. We're going to make a decision before the evening, but probably so. Not because I'm fearing the hurricane. I grew up around them, and it's supposedly not going to impact us heavily. But again, it's 2 days away. A lot can change. But just to be safe, because of Farrah's insulin, can't run the risk of being stuck here with no power and her insulin making its way to room temperature. So probably going to play it safe, but I appreciate the kind words. I know it's a little more than you guys were probably looking for, but just quick update on what's going on with me. Go figure. I've been today makes 4 weeks exactly since we moved here, and go figure. Here comes a hurricane that's projected to be a Category 3. So, Terry Ms. Ogivray, smash the like button on the way in. I appreciate you, Adolfo. Good evening, Days Arabian Night by Arabian Oud. Good to see you, Rubroka. Pleasure to catch. Good to see you, Jared. Afterwards, the ATH Guapo. I have not tried that. So 100 gram. I've never tried that either. What a good comment. I'm sure you meant to type more than that. Hope y'all doing well. Dior Cologne on this hot, humid, rainy Asheville day. Juan said he is rocking Afnan 9 a.m. The original 9 a.m. or 9 a.m. dive? Just curious. On average, Joe's in the house wearing Diptyque Orpheon. Good to see Joe. Hope you had fun in California. Looks like you did. Operation 100K is in full effect. Yeah. Eventually we'll get there, I would think. Let's see. Okay, of course it, midday. Why wouldn't I have great bandwidth? Of course I'm gonna have crap bandwidth and it's gonna cut in and out. Why not? Let's see. Box Mike Tyson hated it. Yeah, it got beat to shit. We're gonna go over those fragrances here in just a second. We'll get to about the 10-minute mark, so we'll just catch up on the chat for the time being. Invictus Aqua 2018, my favorite. I haven't wore that yet. Another bottle of DHP coming this week. I got a decant the whole bottle, so any TLTG subscribers will get first dibs if you hit me up early for 10 ml decants. Well, there you go, guys. Hit up Sean Conley on Instagram and Facebook if you're interested in getting a decant of Dior Homme Parfum. Jacques Bogart, One Man Show Oud Edition. Believe it or not, I have no experience with any of them. Ruby, the original Oud Edition, none of them. Yeah, I saw Joe changed his profile picture on Facebook too to one of those pictures. So it's white tea kind of day, huh, Joe? Just met Angel with 2 splashes of Camera. Dior Homme Cologne, another one wearing Dior Homme Cologne. You can't go wrong there. That's for sure. It's good stuff. Shaking my head. These shipping companies need more accountability. So, and the thing is, I'm confident both of the actual mail carriers en route didn't do this. This is in the transit process where it gets beat to shit and crushed and smashed and banged around. That's not when it's on the actual truck going to a mailbox. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because I know the mail carrier, the regular guy that had the route when I was in Colorado Springs. That was my guy. He knew me. We knew each other very well because I get packages all the time. That's how we got to get to know one another. I've known him pretty well for about 2.5 years. So I know that's not him. And then the lady that has this route, she is all about her business. That's a cool lady too. And I know she ain't doing this. So it's neither of the route drivers that is the cause of this. It's somewhere in the process. Because you got to think, Roma Concept ships out of somewhere here in Florida. And so it went to Colorado and then came back to Florida, basically. So it kind of went across country and back for the most part. So yeah. And wait till you see what Cherry Cola. So this is the Mancera Tonka Cola clone. Wait till you see this. Wait till you see that. That's lovely. I'm surprised that it didn't leak even more. Contradiction, I put that back. Yeah, I had it in hand. Guess you didn't pick it up. Shame. You should give it a try. I was torn. So I was like, because I try not to look at the notes on these. Because the notes could sway me either way. And looking at the notes, I was like, I might like that. So I might pick it up next time I see it. It's here locally. I'm sure nobody bought it. I could probably go get it right now if I really wanted to. But LAX, Delta Sky Lounge, as we speak. Boarding in 30 minutes. Well, I appreciate you spending a little time with us before you jump on your flight, Joe. Elroy Prepson's in the house with Kinnicole Blue. That's one of my favorites for the gym, for sure. Hope all is well. We're in Tarothi Blue. That's some beautiful, spicy citrus. I went fragrance browsing yesterday. Greetings, I work for the UPS. Your packages get thrown by multiple hands before we, the carriers, get it, and we get blamed. That's why I was defending the carriers, because I know both, especially the route driver in Colorado Springs. I know he didn't do that, And in the lady over here, I've gotten to know her very well because, again, I get packages all the time. I get friendly with my mail carriers because they're going to see me all the time. Because usually if I'm expecting, like I'm really excited about certain packages coming in and I know what time they usually come, I'm usually out there like about the time they're pulling up, I'm pulling up. We have a laugh and they give me my packages. They know why the hell I'm there. They'll scan my package. Let me see how many I got for you today, Ross. They scan them. I'm very friendly with my mail carriers, so I know it's not the route drivers. Not in this case. I definitely know it's not in this case. So I'm with you on that. It's the people that never get seen that could give a shit less about these packages. That's how stuff like this happens. So we're about to jump into that here in just a second. Prada Luna Rosa, that doesn't get any love. I wore that not that long ago. Infini Absolute. Ooh, nice woody take on Aventus. That's a good one. That's a good one. I live in New York. Walked to get a haircut today, but unfortunately my hair cutter was closed. Still is my sin of the day. Beautiful, spicy, fruity, aromatic barbershop Enzo. Never heard of it. Sorry you couldn't get your cut done though, man. Got delivered correctly, but it somehow ended up opened and out the back. So I've had situations where I was shipping out, let's say, a bottle of Business Over Pleasure. and I get an empty box with USPS tape on it with a "your package was damaged" note inside. That happened like 4 times, where they just opened my package and stole my bottle. Stole the bottle out that I was sending to somebody. Happened a few times. I had to switch it up to, instead of using those small priority boxes, I had to get creative with my packaging to where they wouldn't assume it's a fragrance. Because once they figured out once it was a fragrance, every time they saw that, they, I guess with the weight and everything, oh, it's another fragrance, and they stole the shit. So there's more dishonest people than honest people these days. The world has shifted. The devil's right in front of your face and everything. So people are much more evil and dishonest these days. Good people are getting fewer and far between. I'm not saying it's anybody here, just saying as a whole, that is the way the culture has shifted. That is the way the world is, unfortunately. Honest people still exist, but there's not as many as there used to be. That's for sure. Cocktail Intense. I like that name. I like that name. Fragrance World Cocktail Intense. I wonder what it smells like. If it means another Fahrenheit Le Parfum for free, which I'm not complaining. There you go. Dino's in the house wearing Lacoste Eau Fraiche. I still need to put that in rotation. I haven't worn it yet since I got it. And couldn't get out of the fast because the toxic management makes it to work. I believe that. Yeah, but let's say we don't have power for a week. See what I'm saying? Because, of course, for a day or so, 2 days, whatever, yeah, we can make that work. But let's say we don't have power for a week. That's a real possibility. 3, 4, 5 days. Now we're screwed, and it's not going to be easy to get out because people would be trying to get out. So it's one of those things that's better safe than sorry. Yeah, be safe. I appreciate it, Tomas. Let me scroll down a little bit. 9 a.m. smells like fresh Lamal. So it's the original 9 a.m. Okay. Went old school, Curve Crush. All right. Congrats to the giveaway winners indeed. Lots of love from Nepal. We're in Utsat Mood. Can't go wrong there. Mr. Maritime. Man, Omar did a great job with this. I still want to check that one out. I'm going to get it soon. Because Mr. Romantic's really good. My wife's a huge fan of that one. All right. Let me get to a decent stopping point. Good to see you, Kareem. So let me get to a good stopping point, and we'll go ahead and jump into this. I know who you are, and you can come here as your regular profile that you go on live streams with, but your Oda Jerks profile is definitely not welcome here. So it's cute and it's funny and everything, but yeah, you can't go taking part and posting all kinds of bullshit about me and then with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it on that note. So let me show you guys the two that survived. So these are Creed clones. So you got Flame, which is Viking, supposedly, and Imperial, which is Millesime Imperial. They took some shots to the dome, as you can see. The bottles are okay, though, believe it or not. But it literally pierced all the way through and hit the caps. But the bottles are fine. We're not going through the fragrances yet because I want to make sure to get Cherry Cola as well before we do that, because I want to do the full video, the haul video that I want to do. And it pained me to open these because I like to open them in video, but I had to make sure because look at all the damage. And then when I shook this box and heard it in pieces, you can hear all those pieces. I said, oh shit, I got to open that. So yeah, so the bottle's good. So immediately when I saw the bottle, I thought Kalan. And then I did a little research into it, and I was like, oh, it's supposed to be Viking. So I'm actually quite excited because I love Creed Viking. That's my favorite Creed fragrance. But this is the main the main issue. So this one was beat up pretty good. The box as a whole, it wasn't like this. It was still sealed, but it was beat up real good. So naturally the cap was off. And you can see all that stuff around the gold. That's a dried up fragrance. Atomizer snapped off. It's underneath somewhere. So the piece of the atomizer is down below. Let me adjust the focus. So the piece of the atomizer that snapped off is down in the box somewhere. The actual atomizer head's right here. But yeah, it actually snapped. Like it took a shot and it snapped it. So that little piece of it is down. I heard it a second ago. Apparently it got lodged now, but yeah, took quite the shot. Smells pretty accurate. Smells a little bit fresher, but I'm not going to do my full assessment here and now. I want to wait till I can actually spray the damn thing. So, yeah. So that is the reason for this topic in the first place. You know, it's all dried up and nasty. So it's all good. Shit happens, but it's worth talking about because I know I'm not the only one this happens to. This is probably the worst it's been, but it's not the first time I've had packages beat to shit and fragrances that took some kind of damage. Never to where I couldn't spray them, but this one's to where I can't spray it. I mean, I could try to put that atomizer on, but because of the way the stem snapped and slanted, it would probably just go everywhere underneath the atomizer head. So I'm not even situations you guys have ran into. I'm very curious, what has it been for you where you've had a package just beat the hell up, or maybe the fragrance was damaged, worst case scenario? That was the main reason for the topic. I wanted to talk about it because, again, there's a lot of good people that work in the parcel services and everything, and I know several personally, and I know they don't mishandle people's product and packages and everything, but it's the behind the scenes that's where the damage happens. From what I understand, I know that's the case here because, again, I know personally both route drivers in both cities that handle this package, and I know they take care of the packages and they take their job seriously, you know. So let's get caught up on the chat. Hope everyone's doing well. Tim Allen, love the name. Love the name. Greenlee, you can't go wrong there. Good to see Sean. L'Homme Ultime. Ooh, nice ginger rose fragrance. That's one of the better flankers they've ever put out. Toy Boy, I haven't worn that one in quite a while. Spicy Rose. Noted for the future. Okay. Cocktail Intense is an Angel Share clone. Neve dubs it one of the best. Smells great. I wouldn't have thought that name. Well, cocktail. Still a cocktail. There's so many good Angel Share clones. It's basically, if you got one, you don't need any of the other ones. There's so many good. I have a handful, and they're all really good, honestly. Got any recommendations for fragrances that have both barbershop, old school vibe, but modern, full warm? So Vers le Sou from Jacques Foth, I think, falls into this. It's got some modern tones, stuff like Ambroxan, for example, but still has that timeless, creamy green spice, lemon aromatic feel, aftershave. That's the first fragrance that comes to mind that is a love letter to old school masculine with a couple of modern nuances like the Ambroxan, because the Ambroxan is detectable. It's a very complex note breakdown, but it's a very cream, warm, and spicy, herbaceous, lemony type of opening. A lot of lavender. It's soapy. Starts to settle into a warm, woody feel. It has a little bit of a shower gel touch. There's musk. There's really a lot going on. It does nuance quite a bit as it dries. And it's very affordable for being a niche fragrance. Like, I paid $41 for my 50 ml from Fragrance Buy. It's called Vers le Sou, Verslesud. Vers le Sou from Jacques Foth. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's one I would suggest checking out if you want something along those lines. Immediately came to mind. It's supposed to be wrapped in extra protection when shipped. How the fuck does a company ship these? I mean, it had peanuts and stuff like that in there. You know, some people use bubble wrap, so I used to get packages full of peanuts all the time, the packaging peanuts. So it was packaged pretty well, but when stuff gets crushed, it gets crushed. I mean, I'm not blaming Aroma Concepts for the box getting beat to shit and fragrances getting destroyed. That's handling. That's not so much the packaging of it. Fragrance Fraternity, good to see you. Mahir Legacy, beautiful Sedley clone. Scott, good to see you as well. DHL works perfect every time. I bet you work for DHL. So, cheers, it's a Fragrance Fraternity. I don't think I ever had a problem with package or damage. And look, it's not something that happens on a regular basis for me either. You know, it's just this was so noteworthy because it literally changed what I was going to do today completely. It came in Saturday. The package came in Saturday, and I was like, damn, what the hell am I going to do with this? I mean, I reached out to Rome Concepts, let them know, showed them what happened. No big deal, replacing it. But it's one of those, it's like, man, I think we should talk about this, you know, because I know I can't be the only one that's had stuff like this happen. I've seen random comments from you guys over time. And aside from that, we'll just chop it up. It's Monday. It's time to catch up. How was the weekend kind of thing, you know? And then on top of that, I have a storm heading this way. Versace Mano Fresh for Scott. You think you can get good longevity and sillage if I do like 15 sprays? If you have to do 15 sprays of anything, how can I say this without sounding like a dick? Because nobody needs 15 sprays of any fragrance. You just don't. That is too much. That is too much. Yes, I have friends that are content creators that preach that you need to spray that or more. I get it. And they do videos showing themselves spraying like crazy. You don't need that much, man. Not even of that $20 fragrance. I understand if you want to spray a little bit more. I get spraying heavier, but not 15, 20, 25 sprays. That's too much, man. Something super light, sure. Yeah, you can bathe and stuff like that. But that's got a little bit of backbone to it, sweet tobacco. I mean, longevity and sillage is going to be determined based off of your skin chemistry with it, though. It's not 100% going to be on the fragrance. It's going to be how the fragrance reacts to you. So you got to keep that in mind, because what you're looking for with 15 sprays, you might get out of 5, 6, 7 sprays once you put it on your skin. You might get that. I'm not sure. Or you might legitimately need 15 sprays to get what you're desiring. I really don't know. I would put it to you this way. I wouldn't spray 15 sprays the first time you wear it. Maybe try a third of that, and you can always add more sprays as you go. You know? Because nobody wants to be that cologne guy where people are, oh, God, so who took a bath in their cologne? Nobody wants to be that guy when you walk in a room and have somebody say that. You know? Invasion Barbare. I've heard good things about that one. I have heard good things about that one. Detour Noir, that is a really good latent clone. Awakened Distilled is a great modern barbershop-like fragrance. I don't have any of the Molecule fragrances, so I actually can't weigh in. I've heard Molecule 01 and 02 are the way to go, though. But I haven't tried any of them. Tom Ford Fougère d'Argent is the best warm, almost Oriental-style Fougère I've come across. Sometimes hard to find, but worth getting. Justin raves about that one. He's kind of really been digging that one the last several months. CK1 Shock is good. I agree. It's a great kind of beginner tobacco is kind of the way I've always dubbed it. It's very easy to wear for having tobacco in it. KEDP, that's good stuff too, underappreciated. Scent of the day, Aqua de Joe Parfum. I wore that a few days ago. Yes, parcel carriers are crazy. They broke a laptop I ordered from Amazon. It was like $1,200. I'm sorry to hear that, Grant. I'd have been pretty disappointed and frustrated myself. That's shitty. I'm on delivery route as we speak, and when I saw that, I said, what the fuck? We as delivery employees got to understand that we're customers too. Like I said, it's you're on a route right now. It's not you. I'm confident it's not you, Sean. And look, anybody that works warehouse for logistics for stuff like this, I'm not pointing the finger at any one person or any one company. This stuff does happen though. Sometimes you just having a bad day, you're complacent, and you're just going through the motions. I don't know if I'm seeing a ring and it's loading, so I'll repeat what I said just in case it cut out for a second. Sometimes you get complacent, you're having a bad day, you're going through the motions, you just talk, you're in a bad mood. People have moments. Shit like this can happen from that. Or maybe it's you just really don't give a shit about your job. You don't take any pride in what you do, and you treat all the stuff like shit. That happens too. I would like to think that's minimal, but it does happen. That stuff does exist, you know. But the last person I mean, you see Ring cameras where it's route drivers too. I literally saw that on TikTok yesterday. They had this chick, and they had a repeat, like it was they edited the video to show about 11 examples, I think was what I counted, of her just tossing the package at the door, throwing it, take her picture, walk away, throwing it on her phone, got her earbuds. Girl, let me tell you, and she's throwing packages. So not all route drivers are innocent, but I would like to think, based on the ones I've met over the last 20 years, that's usually not the case. Most route drivers pretty much care about their job and like what they do for a living, so it reflects in their work. So I don't really, most of the time I give a route driver the benefit of the doubt, such as yourself. I automatically would give you the benefit of the doubt in this situation. Like specifically, like my example, I know both route drivers that touch this. I know for a fact they didn't do this. I know it was like this when they got in their hands. Now, I don't know if it hit my guy in Colorado's hands like this. It might have been on the route back, but the two route drivers that touched this, they didn't do that. Hope all is well. Moving to a new house last week and couldn't join any of the live streams wearing Zaharoff Torino 22 today. Still haven't tried that one. East Coast problems, yes, for sure. More of the Gulf Coast, really. Gulf Coast problems. Hurricanes, more of a threat here than anywhere else in the United States. Ojivray, worst. What do you mean worst? I saw you post earlier. But you don't like it? I love it. You'd probably be the first person to tell me that you don't like that fragrance. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's fragrance related. And the example is clearly involving fragrance, but it's something different topic. Again, it's not a shade, hateful, bashing kind of thing. It's disappointment, and anybody that sees this, that maybe somebody's watching this that they're guilty of it, and they're like, man, I need to do better. I hope that would be what comes from this. It's like, man, that's kind of shitty. I know I'd be upset if I got my package and it looked like that. You know, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Now, granted, the last couple of years has jaded me. The internet has jaded me to people more and more over the last years, pretty much since lockdown. The way people behave on the internet now, it's harder to give people the benefit of the doubt than it used to be. But in person, I still give most people, but pretty much everybody, the benefit of the doubt. I try to still have faith in humanity for the most part, even though the internet brings out the worst in people, you know. But it is what it is. Definitely a different topic for sure. Uh-oh. Must be having some internet issues because it's not letting me pin a comment here. It was delayed. Yeah, Dominique, I was trying to pin your comment. So yeah, I'm having internet issues. Go figure. Yeah, it froze on YouTube. See if it comes back here in a second. I mean, I'm back over here now, I think. Trying to pin your comment. Okay, so my screen's froze on YouTube, but I hear my audio. I just let the audio come through. Okay, we're back. I have it playing on YouTube next to me so I can see what's going on. Sorry about that, guys. Worst package experience? Okay, was a decant that leaked. Nothing crazy yet, knock on wood. Well, and that's just the decant leaking. I've had that happen a ton of times, you know. And then I've had fragrances leak because of the altitude whenever I was in Colorado Springs. That happened a lot. Do 4 sprays of Silver Mountain water. I feel weird doing it because it's so light. Well, I mean, if you feel you need more, it depends on your setting, though. If you're indoors in a close quarters type of situation with others, you probably don't need to do more than that, really. Maybe let them get the occasional light whiff when you walk by. You don't want to punch somebody in the nose with your fragrance if you're in close quarters. But I don't know. It all depends on your setting and your situation, really. But I mean, if you can barely smell it, then yeah, you probably still spray more. So I'll wait just in case you guys can't hear me. Here we go. The bandwidth. It's crazy how this works midday. So 5 to 7 sprays is my standard. And if something's really heavy, I might do 3 or 4 sprays just around the neck, like in the cold weather, the heavy fragrances. Something fresher, different story. I'm spraying the top of my forearms. I might spray my bare chest. I might spray my shirt because it's going to be a lighter, fresh fragrance. So it all depends. You know, very situational. Rob, what's going on? Wearing Kimmy. It's part of their Kimmy Blending Magic range. A very fecal oud. Ooh, pass. In the opening, but dries out as something simply mesmerizing. Definitely not for beginners. No, if it's a fecal oud, I probably wouldn't like it either. And I would like to think I'm not a beginner anymore at this stage, but yeah, that's definitely not. I like certain ouds that are a bit more animalistic and funky. Don't get me wrong, but that sounds super, super nasty. But I mean, hey man, as long as you're enjoying it and nobody's telling you stink, and you can make it to the dry down, because according to you, it's a mesmerizing dry down, and that's the most important part, is the main part, which is the dry down. So good to see you, Rob. Sauvage Elixir, you can't go wrong there. 15 sprays, only Curly Fragrance can do that and get away with it. Yeah, it's easy for Michelle to get away with it. You know, Andrea wears her sprays heavy too. It's both Curly's. It's not just Michelle. Andrea sprays pretty heavy too. Only 2 sprays out when you smell nice all day long, and then some. The UPS union came together and fought for a decent contract. Let's go Unions. They did. That was not that long ago. That was like, what, 2 weeks ago that happened? It wasn't long. Try Toro. It's a good Terre d'Hermes clone. For Oud Satin Mood Extrait, I spray one. Oh, yeah, that's the EDP is crazy strong, too. That's like, you can show out with 3 sprays on that. 3 to 4 sprays is going to fill a room with either version of Oud Satin Mood. What a beautiful fragrance. Such a silky smooth rose. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, man. That's a good fragrance. Sorry, I didn't see you arrive. Okay, talking to Scott. Never had anything happen to a fragrance, but one time, delivery driver folded a record to put in my mailbox. That sucks. I bet that was interesting to open your mailbox and see. Because you knew what it was. So they had to hear it crack when they folded it. And went, oh shit, and hurry up and close it and ran away. I'm sorry to hear that, Cody. That sounds awful. That sounds awful. Lydia, good to see you. I'm a bit late. Wish I wasn't missing so much of this when I have feelings on this matter. By all means, share. We're in the sharing portion. By all means. Good to see you. Fresh Prince of the Trenches, one of the most badass names ever. Salute to you, sir. I appreciate you being here. Luck of the draw. Working, always working. Jonathan, if you like your work, makes it all the difference. Glad you're doing good. Indeed, that's a fact. Be honest, I never had an issue with a package, and I would like to hope most haven't, because it definitely sucks. You're excited, you're waiting on it to come in, and then damaged, fucked up. Need to get another one and replace it. Stuff happens. Look, this isn't the end of the world. It was just, I thought, we haven't had this topic. Let's do that instead of just a typical, hey, let's talk. Because Mondays are usually just no topic, let's talk. And this is still, for the most part, hey, let's just chop it up. But we actually had something to kind of center the conversation around. The most aquatic, I mean super water tropic aquatic. The most sea breeze I can think of, the one that comes to mind is 801 from Bon Parfumer. It literally smells like misty sea breeze, being in the boat fishing when the wave crashes on the boat and that kind of mist goes in the air. It's a little rough out there while you're fishing. That's what I think of with that. Bon Parfumer, they're numbered, their fragrances. It's number 801. That's the one that comes to mind when you make this description. Bon Parfumer 801. Ran after my car before. There's an old bottle, and I don't have to turn it for you to see the juice level. Now, granted, it wasn't completely full. Steve had gave this to me a while back. It was about halfway, but yeah. Yes, I have, actually. In fact, we're going to give it a little spray and a half on the hand. It's been a while since I've smelled it. We'll just put that right there for now. Beautiful. Gives Elysium a run for its money when it comes to fresh metallic citrus. The best from Genre Parfums, in my opinion. People have asked me a bunch of times, hey, what do you ever try anything from Genre Parfums? Blah, 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 blah. Just like when somebody asks me about Sensual Obsessions and I say, if you're only going to try one thing, try their version of Andy Warhol. Same thing here. If you're only going to get one thing when Devin opens orders up, because it's certain times of the year that he opens orders up, Ran After My Car. The acronym RAMC. It's, I smelled so good, she ran after my car. It's phenomenal. So I'm sure that answered your question tenfold. Sean, what's going on? Right here, my man, right here. That's some good stuff. There's definitely some good stuff. Smash that like on the way in. That's what I'm talking about. 81 likes, 90 people. I can't complain. I'm surprised we don't have a little bit bigger crowd. We were like 105 was the peak. But hey, it's all good. I appreciate those of you that are here. All depends on the topic as to what kind of crowd we will have. Terry Mez Ogivray is fantastic. That was just fat fingers earlier. Okay. Makes sense. Here we go. My worst experience was when a bottle had 0 bubble wrap in a box that's 10 times its size. Just rolled around there. You can imagine what it looked like. Yeah, that thing got destroyed. That was just wet box and pieces of glass everywhere. I've had that happen. I've had chipped chunks of glass off of a bottle where the bottle didn't break, but there's a chunk like Bulgari Man Extreme. I got a big chunk missing off the corner of that from the packaging it was in. It just took a shot. Thank God it didn't break the bottle. But yeah, my bottle of Bulgari Man Extreme took a shot. Not from rolling around like you're talking about, but yeah, just off the top of my head with glass issues and stuff. So yeah, that had to be shattered into pieces. I have not. This is the first I'm hearing about it. You're hitting me with a knowledge bomb here today. I don't know what that says. Cryptic figure, good to see you. Most route drivers are good people. I agree. Broken items in packages, most likely not the fault of the driver, but I've had multiple misplaced items in community parcel lockers, which is a pain to deal. I've had that happen too. Most of the time, that's FedEx. I've had FedEx bring fragrance buy packages to completely different buildings and put it at people's front door. When I was in Colorado Springs, I used to have to stay on the ball if it was FedEx that had a package coming in, because the two people that would normally catch the routes, they were awful. The route drivers I had from FedEx in Colorado Springs were terrible. That's the only two route drivers I'll sit here and complain about. They were awful. They were awful about bringing my package. I would say for every 5 packages, 3 didn't come to me. Every 5. I would say 40% accuracy with delivering it to me over a 2.5-year span. Yep. So I know your pain. Not necessarily with the wrong parcel locker. That happened once or twice maybe. But FedEx delivering to the wrong place, that happened a bunch when I was in Colorado Springs. So it's not FedEx as a whole. It's not route drivers as a whole. It was those 2 dudes. Because the same 2 dudes. And I would always beg them, please, for the love of God, when you see this, it's down the stairs, it's over there. And I mean, it happened a bunch of times. They brought it to the wrong building. I would have to go on a hunt when it showed delivered. If I wasn't home when they deliver it, I'd have to go on a hunt around the complex. That's happened a bunch of times. Many times. To where I'm complaining about it right now. Oh, okay. Oud and caramel. Okay. 10-4. Oh, that's nice. My package is sitting in another state via USPS for a week now. I had to cancel. Don't want a frag sitting in the heat for a week. Ooh, sorry to hear that, man. Well, that stuff is fire, yeah, right? It's amazing. It's very zesty, sharp, and juicy. Super, super juicy citrus. A lot of grapefruit. It's a little ambery. Kind of has a bit of a Tigar feel, but more complexity. It's beautiful. Like I would say it's a cross between Elysium and Tigar. Somewhere in that family. Beautiful fragrance. RMC is fire. Genre puts out good stuff. Indeed. So that's the one I stand behind. I've got Commandante. I've got Bonfire, their version of By the Fireplace. I got a few. I don't have much. I got a few, and it's old bottles from like 4 years ago. Yep, old stuff. Golden Rush, Clone of Jubilation. Favorite scent by Bulgari. Ooh, that's a toughie. Because everything I have from Bulgari is really good. Because part of me wants to pick something out the Aqua line, and part of me wants to pick something out the Man line. But I'm going to go even further and say Bulgari Blue, because it's so unique. Bulgari Blue. One of the most unique fragrances is because of that tobacco blossom. It's creamy, a little powdery, but still fresh. It's a creamy, powdery fragrance that wears well in the heat. I really like that one. I think that's my favorite Bulgari fragrance. And I've got, just in the Man line, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 flankers in the Man line. I've got 4 of the Aquas. The only 2 I don't have is the tonics. And I have Bulgari Blue. So I have 12 Bulgari fragrances. 12 Bulgari fragrances. Tongue got twisted. I would say Bulgari Blue is my favorite. Bulgari Man bottle is a pretty solid glass with a coating too. Yeah, that's why it didn't crack. That's why it just chipped. I have not. Where can I buy a sample that I don't have to pay more than shipping? If you're looking to buy cheap samples and not pay for shipping, not pay, more than that for shipping, probably nowhere. Honestly, this is one of those situations where you would want to get multiple samples if that's the case. But just to buy like one sample, that ain't gonna happen unless somebody's running free shipping for a $5 sample, $5 decant, which is pretty unlikely. Your chats are insightful. That's why I love them, even the expensive ones that I can't afford. Well, I appreciate that, Frank. Thank you. Chrome Sport. It is underrated. Smells kind of like Chrome mixed with Versace Mano Fresh. Yeah. More of Versace Mano Fresh than anything. I did a review on that one over 3 years ago. The silver part at the top of the bottle is loose and comes off now, but it still sprays fine. It's good fragrance. I agree. There's a few samples I want to get, but shipping is more than the sample. I don't have a Macy's near me. I'm in the woods. Oof. You're just gonna have to either not get the samples or pay the shipping. Is what it sounds like, unfortunately, Leon. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it sounds like that might be the case, man. Saw Jensen's video and read other reviews. People getting Atlantis by Blue Atlas and their bottles were broken. I didn't have that issue when they sent it to me a while back. That was last year. I haven't worn that one in a while. I need to put that in the rotation. Yeah, I need to put that in the rotation. I'm glad you brought that up, Dakota. Yeah, it was interesting. I think I want to say somebody sent me a link to that video to show me that. It's weird how the box didn't have anything in it, but the bottle was in 2 pieces. I've moved from Ireland to Germany. Used DPD for moving my fragrance collection, 300 plus. A third was destroyed. Damn. Oh, I lost my shit. Be in jail probably. Oh, I'd have lost my shit. I'm sorry, Dennis. That sucks. God, that sounds terrible. Exactly why I moved my own. But circumstances may not have allowed you to handle it yourself. I understand. But that sucks. God, I'm terribly sorry to hear that, man. I'd flip my lid. Since splitting, you know, some forums. So Facebook has a bunch of groups where that's a thing. They're literally being like the name of them. They got a ton of Facebook groups. Just search fragrance decants or something like that in the group section of Facebook, and there's going to be a bunch of them that come up, and you'll be able to see what groups are worth a damn and which ones aren't. For the most part, you'll be good. There's a lot of good people that deal with splits and raffles and sales and swaps and stuff like that on Facebook. Never caught a live before. Well, Jordan, welcome. Glad you could make it. From the house of Comme des Garçons. I did see that earlier on the Sin of the Day post that's what you're rocking. Ishmael said, being that I have Club Nuit Intense Man EDT and limited edition and the body spray, not only intense, would it be redundant? Yes, very, very much so. Very much redundant. Very, very much, my man. You don't need it. Now, if you want it, you want it. That was the case with me. I damn sure didn't need it. I wanted it. And it is a nice change up because it's more of an earthy take. You still have a candied lemon instead of sharp lemon. Like picture the lemon from the limited edition Parfum. But it's almost like a wet patchouli earthiness. The way that one is, it's like a dirty version of the fragrance in some ways. It's actually quite nice. It's got a subtle difference here. Then I'm explaining the subtle difference, but not a drastic difference. It's totally redundant. You don't need to add it to the collection. It just comes down to, would you like to experience an earthy twist on it? Then sure, go for it. You know, that's the reason I wanted it. But again, totally redundant. Lolita Limpica, Green Lover. I still haven't gotten around to trying that one. I know Justin raves about it. Claude Marshall, the melody smells good. I've never heard of that Ramon. Is it Ramon or Raymond? I want to make sure I say it right. Yeah, Chrome Sport got to have the worst atomizer. It is terrible. The fragrance is really good, and the frosted glass looks cool. But the fragrance is really good. The fragrance is definitely really good. I haven't worn that one in a while either. I just have so many. At the Barbers. Whew, I hope the hurricane's gone by the weekend. We're headed to 30A. It should be. I don't know what kind of devastation is going to happen to 30A, though. I don't know. Like I said, we're more than likely going to play it safe and head to Louisiana just to be safe. So this is a taste thing. So for me, my favorite is the Parfum. Literally just talked about it in yesterday's weekly rotation video. My favorite's the Parfum. This is one of those situations where I would advise you to test all of them on skin And if you say, I have no stores near me that carry them, this is where I would rebuttal with, you should buy small decants then, or samples, because it is 100% a taste thing, because they're so different from one another, especially when you start getting into the eau de toilette and the eau de parfum versus the parfum versus the elixir. That's where the big differences are, the big jumps. From the EDT and the EDP, they're pretty similar. One's just spicier than the other. Then when you jump to the parfum, it's smoky, it's sweeter, it's darker. And then you jump to the elixir and it's dry, woody, spiced, nuclear performance. So best is super subjective when it comes to fragrance. That's why most time, if you see it, something about one being the best, it's just for clicks and search orientation and search optimization, because a lot of people type the word best. So for keywords and searches and analytics and stuff, you'll see best. That's why you see best for a lot of things. Typically, when I'm going to throw best in there, it's either with a variety of fragrances for a subject, or if it's one fragrance, there's typically a question mark. Like I'm asking the question, is this the best? Let's discuss it, basically. Click the video and let's talk about it. So I know this is a very long-winded answer, but I want to make sure to help you to understand where I'm coming from with why I told you it. This is one of those situations where you would be crazy not to sample, because just because my favorite's the parfum, you may hate the parfum, or let's say you like the parfum, you get it and you try it, then down the road you try the EDP and you're like, holy God, I like this. This is way better. I like this one way more. This is the best one. That could happen. So that's why I would say, no matter the case, try to sample it first if you can. Instead, I wouldn't recommend just blind buying them. Definitely not the most blind buy safe line in the world. We didn't really like it in Colorado. My wife's been wanting to move. We wanted to get back closer to my side of the family. We moved out there to be by her dad and her stepmom for a while. And we missed the food, first and foremost. Seafood is so much more in abundance in the Gulf Coast. We're now driving distance from my family. So like, it was nice to drive to Louisiana a week and a half ago. It's a lot more convenient. And then on top of that, we basically live in a vacation area now. We live at the beach. If you ever liked vacationing here, which I vacationed here at least a dozen times as a kid. And then as a young adult with my friends, I've been here 5 or 6 times. So very familiar with the area. And I always like, oh boy, I'd love to live here one day. Wife got on board. So we moved. We absolutely moved. I got Latafa Al Oud Honor and Glory. Oh, Body Al Oud Honor and Glory today. Latafa put some great stuff. It's like Hachivat plus Ani and Oud for Glory. Ooh. Nobody's explained it to me that way yet. I've had a few people tell me that I would like it, but damn, that sounds great, Lydia. I mean, I'm going to get it at some point. I will, because Sublime was a home run. Sublime was such a good release this year for them. That's one of my favorite releases. My favorite Latafa release. Now, this obviously stands a chance to top it. If we're talking Hachivat mixed with Ani and Oud for Glory, that sounds dangerous. Dangerous to the senses, you know? Dangerous to all the panties out there, right? But I appreciate your description of it, because that sells me on it pretty well, Lydia. That sounds really good, actually. I'm going to get it at some point. I promise I will. Scent of the day, Nautical Voyage. Bakur fragrances. Some thoughts, maybe. I haven't tried any. Best bang for your buck niche house. No contest. Mancera. I'll argue with anybody about that. There's so much variety. Almost all of them at least perform very well, if not are beasts. They have all the different varieties of more animalistic and funky ouds, more wearable synthetic ouds, all the different varieties of basic citrus, complex citrus, citrus and florals and spices. I mean, you just go through all the different scent profiles and styles. They've got something for everybody. They do. Pierre Montal does great work. Most of the time, you can get just about anything for under $100 from discounters, typically in the $70 to $80 range for 4-ounce bottles. Sometimes you can do even better, like Vetiver Sensual. I paid $44 from Fragrance Buy for a 60 ml. Straight up cheapy for a niche 60 ml that's super versatile. You can wear for everything. So Mancera is just an easy answer for me that I will argue with anybody about. Mancera is incredible bang for your buck. Beginner niche, not the most natural smelling fragrances, but definitely a cut above designers. I'll tell you that. So yeah, that was an easy answer. Easy answer for that question. For me, anyways. Green Lover is one of my favorite dumb sprays. Orange Creamsicle. So let me see how far behind I am. Not really all that far behind, but speaking of somebody that will absolutely back me up on everything I just said about Mancera, EQ, my man, what's going on? Haven't talked in a while. Hope you're doing well, my brother. It's good to see you here in the chat. Yep, EQ in the house. That's what I'm talking about. See, I'm not too far behind, so that's cool. I don't have to skip too much. I don't own any. I have a few clones, but I don't have any of the originals, unfortunately. The only original I've smelled was Ombre Nomad at Louis Vuitton. I sprayed it on my hand. I really want to try Pacific Chill. Speaking of, this gentleman has been posting about it lately. I really want to try Pacific Chill. That one seems like something I would really enjoy. Still in pain for it. Got 100 EU from DPD. Never again. Rent a car and drive it yourself. But from Ireland was not an option. I had a feeling. It wasn't an option for you. Does Zaharoff deliver to Germany? And which four would be easiest to buy? No. Now, once it's open in Europe completely and has distribution, that'll be a different story. Your only bet is luxparfum.co.uk. I don't know if Chris ships to Germany, but that would be your best bet to get Zaharoff in Germany currently. But from the States, no, George doesn't ship to Germany because from what I understand, it's kind of a nightmare. So, yeah, unfortunately, no. So, like I said, I would check luxparfum.co.uk. LUXE parfum.co.uk because Chris is over there in Europe, but I don't know if he ships to Germany, but that's going to be your best shot for sure. All right. I haven't tried any. I've heard Ombre Tobacco would be the one. Dave Calley, my man, shout out to him, told me I would really enjoy that one. Familiar with Paris Hilton Gold Rush? Man, no. Just Paris Hilton for men and for me, just me. Those two. I have those two. That's the only two I've tried. Wearing another 13 from Le Labo. So we got 8 more minutes and we'll shut it down. We'll do a solid hour and shut it down. I haven't tried Sublime, but Honor and Glory is the best I've tried from the house. Ooh. So with Sublime, it's a KLE clone. I haven't tried the original, but super fruity with rose, a very watery rose. And my man Dedrick described it really well, like fruit punch with rose. It's lychee, apple, and plum. It does lean feminine. So guys that aren't secure in their masculinity or just don't like feminine leaning fragrances won't like that fragrance. But guys that like rose, like fruity fragrances and stuff like that, it's amazing. It's absolutely, man, it's powerful too. And it's cheaper than it was when I got it. I saw Fragrance Buy had a restock. It was like $29 or $26 or something. So it's cheap right now. I paid $35. Not much different, but it did get cheaper. I haven't tried it yet. It's not here in the States yet, as far as I know. That makes sense to be close to the family. Must be hard to live there, though. I don't know. Florida has had its highest inflation without the country and the housing market. It's insane. Go to Colorado. I bet you'll complain less about inflation, about inflation here. Go to Colorado. Let me give you an example. Okay. The apartment complex I was living in went up when we renewed. Okay. It was 15 something before all the extra fees and all this other shit. Now, if we were renewed, it went up to $23.75 for a 2-bedroom, 1,000 square foot apartment. That was too small for us in the first place. It was going up $700 and some odd dollars. 800 even, yeah, from $1,570 to $2,370, going up $800 if we would renewed and stayed, which we were like, glad because I'm paying less than that for a much nicer, way bigger 1,400 square foot apartment, almost $1,365. Wood floors. I got double closets in here. I got a view. I'm a 3-minute drive from the beach and the pier. I'm in the heart of everything. I live in a tourist area and I'm paying less than the suburbs of Colorado Springs at not even close to the most expensive place. Not even remotely close to the most expensive place. So, yeah. Florida ain't as bad as you think when you start going to some of these heavy blue states. Go to California. Go to Oregon. Go to Colorado. Move to one of those places. You'll appreciate what it costs here. Yeah, it's gone up. The housing market's crazy. That's nationwide. But the part of the reason for the increase here is the popularity of people wanting to move here. It's the hip thing in the last 2 years. But trust me when I tell you, it was worse where I came from. The food is way cheaper here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Way cheaper here. Electricity is about what, but fuel cost is a little bit lower. Like, I could go on and on. You talking to a dude that just left a extremely blue state. It ain't that bad here financially. It's not desirable. It's not as good as you would want it to be, clearly. Not as good as I would want it to be either, but comparatively, it's better financially, my man. What's up, dude? Just got off class. Sin of the day, Old Faithful, said Drapoise. That's one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Nobody does freshies like Mancera. That sounds familiar. There's a certain equality fragrances here in this live chat that likes to say that. And I agree with you, Juan. I agree with you. I'm drooling over those car posts. Yeah, he's been posting some cool shit on IG. I assumed you had a lot going on. I know when you have some downtime, we'll link up. Trust me, I'm trying to get back in my groove. I've been getting fussed by some of my other friends that they haven't been hearing from me because I've just been having so much going on. So totally get where you're coming from, my man. And I know you're a bit busier than I am. So I'm just glad to see you pop up in the chat, man. And, you know, get a little update on how you are. I'm good to hear that you're doing well, my brother. I still haven't tried that one. A bunch of people over the years have recommended it to me too. Josh, good to see you. What's your ideal daytime cool, cold weather fragrance? Ooh, ideal. There's a lot that are circling in my head. One of my go-tos, believe it or not, last year in the cooler weather, during the day, was when I would like to wear Mercedes-Benz Club Black. I know that's typically an evening date night scent is kind of what it's best suited for, but that's when I like to wear Zaro the Most Wanted. Oriented mass appealing fragrances. I like to wear those during the day in cooler weather, believe it or not. It's kind of odd, but it's just, I don't know, I just kind of prefer it because most of the time they have a nice dose of sweet and spice. And in the cooler weather, I like sweet and spice. I like the kind of counterbalancing of the sweet, the mass appealing sweet spicy fragrances, your 1 million elixirs. That's when I like to wear stuff like that. Typically evening appropriate. I like to wear them during the day. Not yet. For the most part, I haven't heard good things, but I've seen a few people that are really enjoying it in the daily post about what they're wearing. Hachivat, you can't go wrong there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I reviewed that a while ago. Yeah, I got a full review on it. That price is crazy. Dude, look, we didn't even know till right when we were given our 60-day notice that it was going up that much. I mean, we were already moving. But when we started, we kind of laughed like, and we're getting this for 21, which don't get me wrong, my rent's high. It's 21 and some change. But it's 400 square feet bigger. All wood floors. It was built 4 years ago. The section I'm in was built 2 years ago. 3 years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah. The section I'm in was built 2 years ago. The whole complex is 5 years old. And like I said, I'm 3 minutes from the pier and the beach, and I ain't mad at it. My gym's 5 minutes down the road that I love, my new gym, by the way. Life is good, man. You're not going to hear me complaining. Life was good before, but life's really good now. I'm having a blast here. Still trying to, I'm still focused on doing my thing, but I'm trying to make more time to have a life outside of content, more content in the gym, because content in the gym was pretty much just, that's it every day. I was doing content every day. Whereas now I condense my content into a 4 to 5 day stretch and take a few days away from unplugging from social media a little bit and go out and enjoy the beach and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm getting much more for my money. I'm paying more than I was paying, but comparatively, I would have been paying even more than this had I stayed. So crazy to think. Oh, they got a lot of good stuff. They got a lot of good stuff. One that my wife is in love with right now is their version of Neroli Portofino. It's called Citrus Neroli. And then my mom, I gave her their version of Margiela's Replicas Beach Walk. And the last 3 times I saw her, I smelled it on. I said, "Well, you liking that one?" And she's like, "Oh, I love it." So for me, I love their version of Polo Blue. Their version of Code is better than original Code. They have a version of the actual original Armani Code. So it all depends. Their Baccarat Rouge 540 clone is pretty good. Their Le Minsite LV clone is really good. It all depends. But like then they have some stupid stuff. Like they have a clone of Mont Blanc Legend. It costs just as much as getting Mont Blanc Legend from a discount. It's stupid. There's no point to that existing. And I've told them that. I said it in video. Why is this a thing? Just buy the original. So it all depends. But yeah, and their policy is if you buy it, spray it, don't like it, you can return it. They give you a full refund. So that works out. So it's no risk really. The only downside of the movie got stuck with the Chipotle here sucks. I'm gonna switch it up though. I go to Rudy's Country Store instead. Get me a half pound of turkey. Yeah, works out. Which I haven't gone in about a week. I've been coming home every day eating 3 Eggland's Best, 3 whole eggs, 3 egg whites, and 1 cup, which makes a large ass pancake of Kodiak blueberry pancakes, the whey protein pancakes with sugar-free maple syrup. That's been my post-workout meal for like a week and a half now. Because that's like, shit, I forgot how many grams of protein. It's like right around 600 calories. Everything's a great post-workout meal. Because I'm tracking calories and macros again. Trying to lean out some more. 626 calories. Because it's a good bit of carbs, but it's decent carbs. But 28 grams of protein for the pancake. And then between the eggs, I got 18 and 11. So 29 grams. So right under 60 grams of protein out of that. 60 grams of carbs and 20-something grams of fat, but it's all decent fat. It's eggs. It's good omega-3s and stuff like that, polyunsaturated. It's a really, really good post-workout meal. Very well balanced because I like when I'm cutting, I like to get the majority of my carbs as my post-workout meal. Because if I don't get them early, I'm going to be really craving them in the evening. Because I've been eating ratio protein. That's what it's called, the yogurt. That's what I've been snacking on at night. And some unsalted peanuts. Because I get the munchies at night. I want to snack on stuff. And I'm really fighting not eating carbs. Some days. Like yesterday was cheat day. I ate a bunch of carbs yesterday. It's a lot of rice, though. Off 9 a.m. dot. Can't go wrong there. So we're a little over an hour. We'll shut it down here in just a sec. I was a UPS driver for a couple of years. Delivered mail for USPS. More to the current state of affairs. 10-4. California sucks, man. I'm just hoping the wife jumps on the Florida train with me so we can move. My brother just moved from the Sacramento area to he's living north of Houston now. Big difference in what it costs. He's got a 3-bedroom house now for way less than that 1-bedroom studio apartment he was paying for out there. Yeah. So yeah, big difference. He was out there in the valley area, kind of not directly in Sacramento, but around Sacramento. Man, his rent was outrageous. Thought God put fit was a lot. I put a dozen on skin, the same on clothes. And hey, if that's the case, then that's the case. Yeah, it's just that risk of potentially being too much. You know what I mean? But if it's fine where you're at, it's fine. No shade to anybody that wants the heavy spray. I just don't. And I can't imagine doing so unless it's just a really light and airy spray. Like something like this. Hell yeah, I can spray that 15 times, especially with these little bitty ass sprays. So good though. But people hate on it because it's only a few hours. It doesn't last long. But it smells amazing. Mancera is clutch. Indeed, my guy. Indeed. Just say, good to see you. Chris Fragmental ships only to the UK. Today, Ross here in One High Street Shop had an opportunity to try Aventus Intense. Ooh, the new Absolute Aventus. You're going to love it. I have a tester and wait for a full bottle bomb. Yeah, I want to try it. Even if I don't get a bottle, I'd like to get 2 ml just to spend some time with it and experience it. I just want to have, I don't have to have a bottle, but I have to have the experience. I really want to try it. Saunders Scent, what's going on? Good to see you. Wearing Valentino Uomo. How are you? This is random, but you have the neck of a wrestler. Have you ever done any kind of wrestling? No, I haven't. Freestyle, Greco-Roman? No, I haven't. Just a relatively stout neck. And for my frame, I have pretty big traps. So that's why it looks the way it does, even with the hood bunched up for the hoodie. Contrell, good to see you, big dog. I hope you're doing well. I love Florida. Anywhere near water is clutch for me. Man, we went to the beach Saturday. Not yesterday. I was about to say yesterday. We went Saturday. It was great. It was yellow flag. Perfect time to be in the water. For those of you that know the flag systems, yellow flag, just moderate waves. Perfect. No marine life. No rip currents. Oh, it was a great day. We had a blast out in the water and then went lay out. So I don't know if you guys have noticed. I've gotten a little more color. I'm not as white. My dad's side of the genes are coming out a little bit more, but I freckle first. So my mom's side comes out first. And you can see all the freckles. I freckle, then the tone changes, then the pigmentation settles in. So because my mom's pale white and freckles easy, and my dad was dark complected. So I gotta deal with both. I can burn real easy if I'm not careful, but if I just get some color and I do it right, I'll freckle for a few days, and then the color, it'll adjust and my skin tone will change. And that's so we go every couple of days. We go every like 3 or 4 days, which I had missed for like a little over a week because of my travel to Louisiana. So I was itching to get back to the beach. It was great, great day. Yeah, I love being at the beach, man. It's a crazy rent hike. Is it even legal? It all depends on state regulations, and apparently, yeah, they absolutely can. But in Colorado, apparently, it's totally fine. It was a huge jump. Not even close. Like I said, long before that was coming around, like even over a year ago, Heidi would look from time to time, just checking the market, and 2 bedrooms down the street going for $3,000, $3,100, 1,000, 1,100 square feet, nothing crazy, but $3,100 is wild, man. And nothing special, not crazy nice apartments or anything. Marshmallowy campfire leather, absolutely stunning. Interesting. Have any experience with House of Sillage? I have one. I have the Gentleman, and it's nice, but it's nothing like it doesn't. There's no situation where I would pick it for a date night over any of my other usual picks. So that's why I never wear it. I have a full bottle. Supposed to be like Niche Profondo. I bet that's good though. That sounds good. VR Flower Bomb. Do you know this clone brand? I do not. I have not heard of that brand. I don't know if somebody in the chat maybe wants to weigh in. The red state blue issue for housing. Most states have laws for the rent increase. Might go live tomorrow night talking about Killian's new release, Smoking Hot. So I've had people ask me about that one, and I haven't really looked into it. So I'd be curious to see your thoughts. Now, I may not be able to tune in depending on, so I know you just jumped in not long ago. Beginning of the live, I was talking about we might play it safe and drive to Louisiana because in the event we were to lose power, even though we're going to be far west and just get some rain, in the event we lost power, that could be detrimental for my dog's life because she has insulin that needs to stay refrigerated. And yeah, we put it in an ice chest, but let's say we don't have power for 4 or 5 days. Ice chest ain't going to hold up that long. So in the event of risking my dog's life, probably have to play it safe and just head to Louisiana. So probably tomorrow morning we'll just drive to Louisiana and go stay at my grandmother's or something. Instead of staying at my mom's because Farrah can't be my buddy, her dog. They'll fuss and fight. So probably like 90% going to be doing that. So I may not be around my phone or iPad to be on social media. But in the event that I am, I'll definitely come pop in, check it out, say hi in the chat. So if I don't see you, have a great live tomorrow. And not restricted. See, there you go. However much they want based off the market. And the market's crazy. I think the market's crazy here. Put it this way. My wife is a licensed realtor in Texas. She did not even bother transferring her license to Colorado because it's so wild over there. She is doing the continuing education to transfer her license here. She hasn't worked in like 3 years. It's all good. We're fine. But yeah, she didn't even bother because the market's so what she didn't even want to deal with it. It's so crazy in Colorado. I did not hear about that. I need to look into that. Thank you for being on the air for the common man. I appreciate you, Kevin. Smelling fragrances, my sours, similar to Ulta. I don't really know. So I'm trying to click this comment. There we go. Smoking hot, not really hot on my taste. More for the office. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't really looked into the notes. So I'm going to be curious to see what EQ has to say about it. I'm in Grass Valley by SAC. So yeah, so you know all about how expensive it is over there. The king of the super chat has arrived wearing Eau Givray, just like Fragrance Apologist. Volcanus, my man, I appreciate the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being able to make it too. Because yeah, we're about to shut it down. We're an hour and 11 minutes. Typically, I would have shut it down about an hour, but we've been chopping it up. EQ, I'm going to definitely be there. 10-4. Problem in Louisiana is insurance. Agreed. That's the issue here too. In Florida, homeowners insurance, there's a whole thing right now. And the flood insurance is wild. But yeah, with Louisiana, same thing. I had a home in Louisiana before I lived in Texas. I grew up in Louisiana, but as far as being a homeowner in Louisiana, yeah, it's and it's crazy to think with my insurance and everything, I was paying right over $1,200 for my house, and it was a brand new house. Like it's turnkey neighborhood kind of thing, but I bought it when it was a cement slab, so literally it was brand freaking new. And we were there for 5 years, 6 years before we moved to Texas. Sold and moved to Texas. Around the time the oil field tanked, that was when I took off working in the chemical plants before I jumped in the car business. Point being, I was paying for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a garage that's a little bit bigger, living square footage wise than this house, not counting the garage. I was paying 12 something. It's crazy how much has changed since then. That was when I sold that was 7 years ago. 6 or 7 years ago, something like that. So I feel your pain. Cody. Burlington had a love child. Ooh, you throwing Burlington in there. That's high praise. That's one of the most complex fresh fragrances. And that's not even really all that fresh, but kind of. I was blown away. Full bottle is going to be CCA. I have prescribed for it. Ooh, man, I'm going to have to try that. Sad to see the state of the housing, especially in urban areas. People can't afford to move because the job opportunities are mostly within cities. Fact. Indeed, Thomas. It's wild the way it's shaken out. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better anytime soon, unfortunately. Boss Bottle Night. Nice smoky soap fragrance. Thank you for showing fragrances that everyone can afford to buy. And look, I do a little bit of everything because I like a little bit of everything, from crazy expensive stuff all the way to there's $15 fragrances that I can really appreciate, So I appreciate the kind words, Kevin. Thank you for being here, my man. Zara Vertus ooze like Aqua de Jo Parfum with agarwood. That's intriguing. Parody to Sin's Eden is great. Yes, it is, sir. I'm glad you enjoy it. Right here. I love it. Love it. I sprayed it on my arm like 2 days ago. Sprayed it right here. It was like, or was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday. He's not a perfumer. Not at all. He didn't create those. Alberto Marias created those. He's not a perfumer. As far as being a perfume blogger, he's definitely got a very unique style these days. Shout outs to Jeremy. The track shows is going the same but stronger. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a category 3 last I saw. One could argue Niche Hane is a great starter niche house as well. that very well could be a great argument because Nishane puts out some phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal stuff. They do have some good ones to ease into the collection, and they have some more enthusiast level complex fragrances. So yeah, that's a fair point. That is definitely a fair point. And then we'll take this last one and we're going to go ahead and shut it down. Scent Detective, good to see you. Market is super crazy in the DFW suburbs. 30-year-old double wide was under contract for $325,000 in Frisco. What? So the funny thing is, you know, the tiny houses that were all the craze a few years back, there's a little area, a little lot that has them down the road, starting at $115,000. Little tiny houses, look like a damn shed. $115,000. My first house was $170,000, and it was with the garage, almost 1,500 square feet, and it was a brand new house. What? What? You know, that's crazy, man. We'll end it on that craziness. My God, yeah, that's unfortunate and sad to see. Oh man. Anyways, the housing market's wild, guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to everybody that gave some super chats. I greatly appreciate it. Not sure exactly how the live stream schedule is going to work this week because it all hinders on if we're going to leave and go to Louisiana because of this storm. I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know in a community post if I'm going to be heading out because it'll postpone the live stream schedule. So, which I mean, if I do leave, I'll do at least one while I'm gone. We'll bring the iPad and everything, and I'll do it from there, and I'll be able to type comments and stuff from my phone or whatever. I'll figure something out, but I can't guarantee the way the content schedule is going to work this week. Regular videos will still come out because I record a few days ahead anyway. But as far as live streams, it's definitely subject to change currently because of the hurricane. So thank you all for being here. Make sure to check out today's video if you haven't yet. Like the stream before you leave. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.